All right, people, welcome to another episode of Natty News Daily. We've got a very special guest on, Dirk Emmerich, current, current, how do you want to call it? Current amateur bantamweight world champ, but now WNBF pro, so you're not an amateur anymore. But anyways,
And overall too, right?
won the overall. So very, very talented individual, competed at WNBF Worlds just 4 weeks ago. We were just talking before we come on here live that it's been 4 weeks already. So Dirk, welcome to the podcast, my man.
All right. Thanks for having me on it, man. Big honor for me. And yeah, super excited to talk. It's now 4 weeks, like you said. It's
crazy.
Like so real, like 4 weeks already.
Crazy. How was it traveling to Vegas?
Man, the traveling to Vegas was actually extremely hard. Like it was like, I think 3 or 4 days out. And you know how it is when you like totally in zombie mode, like with brain fog, super like starving, hungry. And then being in such a long flight is extremely hard, man. Like I was sitting there and like, damn, that's hard. And yeah.
I was say, I think like as you get deeper into prep too, your patience gets really thin and like you want to be productive all the time. And just with traveling, and I haven't done a trip like that lean, but like you just get very impatient. Any waiting around, you're waiting for the flight, you're waiting for the rental car, you like all this stuff is so much waiting and so much like it's stressful, that's for sure. And for a 14-hour trip, that's
yeah, it's insane. And I make a big mistake because I had like a bigger breakfast at home and I was not really calculating it so good because, you know, like the prep brain isn't that good with organization. And then I was like in the flight, actually not eating anything for like 8 or 9 hours. And I was like, oh, that's not, because I was already eating too much before. And this was like stressing me a little bit out. I was sitting there, damn.
I think you mentioned on the other podcast you were anticipating sleeping like for an extended period of time, and right? Because and then you have that massive time change too. So
oh yeah, then the jet lag, and then I arrived in San Francisco and I nearly missed my flight to Vegas. It was like 1 hour in between, and I was actually running to the next gate, and imagine that with like being full in prep mode. I was like, damn, arriving at the hotel that day and I was totally gone.
So how did Berto help you along with that? Because I'm sure that he was closely in contact with you and kind of keeping you level-headed, keeping you calm, you know, as much as he could.
Yeah, definitely. Like he did a good job with that. I mean, like once I arrived, he just said, yeah, chill down. And yeah, just afterwards, it was way easier. Just like the onward flight I nearly missed was a little bit stressful, but otherwise it was, all good for sure.
That's brutal. So let's go back a little bit. For those that don't know, Dirk here has been working with Alberto Nunez, Team 3DMJ. I'm going to guarantee everybody knows who Berto is. But I want to talk about your history working with him, because we touched on it before we come on live, that you've been working with him, what'd you say, since 2016?
Record again. Do you want to start with Leroy was talking and then he cut off, so I asked the question. James, you're the moderator. Where do we want to start with?
Well, so Dirk, you took things a slightly different approach, right? It's interesting, right? You said you started working with Alberto in 2016. So you started working with a full-fledged elite bodybuilding coach a year before I even started competing, but this was your first competitive year. So talk us through your thought process, like how you got to the point where you realized I need this time, or was that a conversation that you and Berto had, or did you just kind of want to play the long game?
It was more so like the question is why I didn't compete it like straight from the get-go, kind of. Yeah, the thing was like for me, like I like this usual case, like I never felt ready to compete. I was like, oh, let's wait another year. Like, because if I wanted to compete, I wanted to do really good, kind of. And I was like, yeah, let's build more. And then I injured myself because we wanted to compete, like I think 2018 was planned. Then I got a big injury, so it was a setback. And then 2019, I didn't want it to, and 2020 was then the plan, but then COVID was hitting. So then it was 21, and yeah, but the main reason was like I wanted to make sure to have a lot of muscle tissue on me before I actually start to compete. It was the main reason.
And
so yeah,
knowing him and his coaching style, I'm sure you did some like practice preps along the way,
yes,
right?
we did.
Where you kind of lean down and yeah. Now, do you find that was beneficial leading into this prep? Gave you experience and data?
It was extremely beneficial. Like even before I got coached from Berto, I did like 2 major fat loss phases, kind of like test 1 preps before that. So in total, I think I had like 3 or 4 test ones actually before I did the actual prep, and this helped tremendously in regards to everything, like in regards to how to manage it, what to expect. And I feel like also the body gets better and better from each fat loss phase. So if you have like some fat loss phases before that first prep, it means like you are able to get leaner. I really believe so. Like getting leaner and holding more muscle tissue at the same time. So.
And I think that insight right there is huge for all the people that were calling you too lean too early, right? They didn't know the background.
You've embraced Mr. Ready too early.
Yeah. It's a great title to have. But yeah, so they didn't know, like just because you hadn't stepped on stage doesn't mean that you haven't been there, you haven't been lean, you haven't been practicing the craft for years, longer than some people have been competing.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
That's the problem with social media, right? Is like the context behind the conditioning you were at. Like you had so much experience and information prior to getting to that point. Whereas all people see is like, oh, Dirk shredded like 8 weeks out. But you guys knew exactly what was going on, exactly what you were doing. Everybody else was just like,
definitely,
peanut gallery on the sidelines, right?
Yeah, that's why I've been glad to hear.
It was hard, yeah.
That's why I've been glad to hear you talk on your podcast and then now to give that context, because you see it's a lot of people, and myself included, first exposure to you was the post that Berto put up, and it's like there's just no context. So I'm glad you could tell your story a little bit. So
what was your training like over the last couple of years? Like because you've packed on a lot of muscle on your frame. So what was your training like? What was your nutrition like? Give us some rundown of kind of how you structured everything over the last couple of years.
Yeah, in regards to the training, first of all, I would say like an upper lower split, but with a mix of full body as well. So on lower body focus days, we also throw in like arms or shoulders. So kind of a full body, but not like a traditional full body. Yep. So just like splitting the volume kind of smart in regards to our goals and all that. But I would say like 5 days per week usually, and hitting like every muscle group like 2 or 3 times per week.
Yep.
And I would say higher intensity as well.
I was gonna ask if you lean towards more of like less sets, higher intensity, or a little bit higher volume.
Yeah, we tried actually both. Like from the beginning, it was really high volume. And like the more experience I also got, the more we lowered the volume, because we were able to get like more quality volume in. And now I'm doing like 8 to 12 sets per muscle group, because the more experience you get, I feel like the less volume you need, because you can work that much more efficient. And that's in regards to the training, I would say, mostly.
Did you push your body weight up to any significant levels over the last couple of years, or did you kind of hang between a range? What did that look like?
That's actually a big thing, since like my body fat settling point is really low. So I'm not able to push body weight that high. Like I'm that typical kind of hard gainer, if you will, that I need to force feed myself a lot. Yep. It's kind of like near impossible for me to get like fat. So that is like a huge thing for me. I'm so used to like force feeding in the off season. And I think the highest weight I ever had is like 73 kg or so. And that's like 8 kg above stage weight.
Jeez.
So but this time around,
Which do you prefer, force feeding or starving yourself?
Starving, 100%. 100%. Force feeding is much worse in regards to like just the nutrition aspect of things. Obviously, like starving, like is way worse because you're low energy, feeling like shit and all that. But force feeding in regards to nutrition is mentally way harder for me
Really?
because you just can't enjoy food anymore. It doesn't give you pleasure, and it's like stressing you out at some point when you need to drink all your calories and
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that constant like full
Mm.
feeling too. When I like this past
Yeah.
off season, I got up to like 200 pounds, which for me was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
And like I felt just full all the time. Like my stomach just always like
Definitely.
working out. I felt like I worked out all the time with a belly full of food, which like is not enjoyable, much less not enjoyable all the time. And
Definitely.
yeah, like I don't know if I would say it's worse than starving yourself, because let me tell you, I like food, and not eating is a struggle sometimes. But I will say that definitely on the flip side, when you're trying to push those extra calories in, like it takes its toll for sure.
Yeah,
There's a
especially when it's like really like you can't get any enjoyment out of food anymore.
Yeah.
That's the hard part then. Yeah.
there's a simplicity to dieting as well, right? It's just things get so much more streamlined. You know what you can do and can't do. Where like when you're gaining, I know I got to a point personally. I don't know, you didn't say like how high your calories truly got. I don't eat a lot, but at one point with Brett, we were up to like 47 to 5,000 calories. And
Wow.
I was just like getting to the end of the day and be like, all right, I guess I'm just gonna like pour a bunch of syrup on stuff and like douse things in barbecue sauce because I can't get more food in me. How do I get more calories on this meal I'm already eating?
Yeah.
And it was
James,
just gross.
I'm remembering you're blended up just everything in the blender. Like
Same, man.
Yeah.
I blended everything, man. I was
was
even adding coconut oil or like drinking lots of pineapple juice and stuff to get it in somehow.
Yeah. I was drinking a shake every single day that was like 2,000 calories just because I just could not eat anymore. And it was taking me a long time to drink it, but it was better than trying to eat that in food.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that's the thing what makes it, in my opinion, worse than like starving. I don't know. I think that's worse. Because starving, you still get enjoyment out of food. And yeah, and you know it's like not forever. And
Yeah, for sure. Describe Worlds now. Let's go to the most recent. So you competed at Worlds. Obviously you qualified for Worlds, won the overall and all that kind of stuff. So you go to Worlds as an amateur. What was that experience like? How did it feel to be on that stage?
It was freaking amazing. Like it was my fourth show from the season. So since it was also my first season, like the first show was really hectic. I was super nervous because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. And like from show to show, you get like more like experience and confidence. And then at this one, especially like in regards to the conditioning level, we like had a huge level up compared to the previous shows. So yeah, I feel super confident, like super excited, and all in all, like the vibes been so great there with all the people all over the world, and
That's
it
awesome.
was amazing.
You got to hang with some cool people at Worlds too. There were a lot of cool dudes and gals at that show.
Definitely.
Competing.
Yeah, lots of yeah.
That's something I really got out of my season too, was at least
connecting with them in real
Connecting with-
life. Like on Instagram you talk and stuff, and then you see each other in real life, and it's just amazing. And especially because the venue, the show was in the same hotel at the Link Hotel, so it was just like 2-minute walk from my room to be on stage, and that's
so nice.
And
That's so nice when they do that. A lot of local shows have been doing that, where they get a venue that's got like a big conference room or something like that, where they can hold the show at the hotel, and your tanning's right there, your hotel's right there, you're the venue. It's nothing's worse than trying to go from space to space to space, even if it's like a 10-minute drive.
Stressful.
Yeah, even if it's a 10-minute drive, it's still, annoying, and you're watching the clock, and God forbid traffic, or like I remember the one show I did, I got my tan and then I had to go back to the hotel and it was pouring rain, so your tan gets screwed up. Like that kind of shit's like, you don't want to deal with that stuff, right? So that's good that they did that, because it makes it a lot easier.
It is so much easier, like so much. Yeah.
And in that hotel, what was the actual stage venue? So was it like a conference room, or what? Did they have an auditorium, or?
I think it was like a theater, like they was doing also like magic shows down there, like for
So
the
they had a
hotel
full
guests.
stage and everything then?
Yes, a full
Okay.
stage. Yeah. Oh, this was really convenient.
So at the highest level, you win, you turn pro. Like what does that feel like? Like how can you put into words what that felt like?
Well, it was like feeling like in a dream. Like honestly,
Yeah.
I like when they called my name, especially on the overall, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was really like, I think some people saw the video and I was like hitting the ground and I was like, wow, like so many emotions. And even like days afterwards, it still felt like so surreal for me. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was so amazing. And it was such a great end of the prep, like that cherry on the top.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
this was like, wow, could not have ended better than that, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
every goal we set for the prep was reached big time.
Amazing.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's awesome, man. So fast forward to now, you're 4 weeks post show. You're feeling good. I believe you said you're starting to feel pretty much normal now, right?
yeah, exactly. Like it took me like now, I would say, yeah, 4 weeks. I'm 7 kg up above stage weight. So that's like 15 pounds. And yeah, that's something also great to like take notice of, like for future preps in regards to that. So
Yep.
yeah, we've been really assertive with bringing the weight up. I think within 1 week, I've gained 5 kg, and then this next 3 weeks now was like 2 kg.
Yep.
So that's the thing, because we went like conditioning wise, Alberto and me, we really pushed it to the limits, and then we also want to get out of that extreme state as soon as possible. And I'm like, I don't regret anything that I've gained like weight so repeatedly, because we need to, and the goal is to recover. So,
How long were you in kind of that red line level of body fat? Like how long total?
I would say in total, I would say like 6 weeks easily, like 5 to 6, I think, because the first time, like when we got to that conditioning level, we've been adding food back up, but we've gained some body fat back. That was like the only mistake we made in this prep, because we've been too assertive with putting the food up. And then we went into a huge, like in a deficit again, went down with the body fat again. So yeah, and then it was like 6 weeks before Worlds actually, where it was like total zombie mode.
Yeah, I was gonna
Before
ask
that.
how you felt for those 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, man. Like you, especially the training becomes extremely hard. Everything becomes extremely hard. Like there's so many things actually, like even basic things like walking becomes hard, like getting out of bed becomes hard, some irritation, you become emotionless. There's so many things actually.
Yeah, I'm starting to knock on the door of those feelings now. I'm 13 weeks out, but we're like I'm working with Cliff Wilson, and we're like trying to get that Cliff Wilson conditioning. So I'm right now about 10 pounds over previous stage weight, and he wants to go like beyond that. But you know, I can hear what you're saying, and it's hitting close to home, because I'm starting to get those, like, you know, the heavy feet, the workouts that you kind of need to really get in the zone for. It's not as enjoyable as before, but you know, you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Like once training motivation is gone, you lose enjoyment for training. It becomes like torture at some point, but that's part of the process. And yeah.
So I have a question, kind of, because I've done 2 preps and I've had 2 different experiences with this. So with like the decrease in training motivation, energy, all that sort of stuff, did you find yourself relying more on, I'd say, like emotion, music, that sort of stuff, caffeine maybe, towards the end of prep? And then the second question leading off of that is, if you did, or how was your transition after your prep was over, when like the tunnel vision was off? How did that affect your training motivation, how you felt in the gym? Because that can be a tough transition as well. So I'm curious your thoughts and how you know.
Yeah, like in regards to the first question, caffeine, big time. Like I went very high on caffeine. at the end of prep, very high. And music, not so much, because at some point, like dopamine levels also get really low. Like music was not pushing me anymore. I was not, at some point I stopped listening to music like altogether. Like, I don't know, it was not pushing me anymore. I was just going for it.
Become
Like tunnel
emotionless.
vision, kind of. Yeah, definitely. It's crazy, man. And the caffeine was also not pushing that much, but a little bit. So that definitely helped with the caffeine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in regards to that, yeah, that's a big one.
For sure.
And the second question in regards to transitioning, like the first 2 weeks been extremely hard because training motivation was still extremely low, because it's not like that, like a switch that one to the next day your motivation is back and energy as well. So it's a gradual process, and I was a little worried. I talked with Alberto. Oh shit. It's working.
Got you.
Yeah, I talked with Alberto that, man, I'm a little bit worried. I'm still not motivated for training. It's still like, oh, and then from one to the next day, I was like, wow, my motivation is back. And
Yeah. Awesome.
it went like really like this. So
yeah, sometimes it's just
that's the thing. Yeah,
all right,
once
man.
the body feels safer again, then yeah.
Yep. All right,
go.
we are getting close on time here. Let's close this out with what's next. You closed out 2021 as, you know, new WNBF pro. What's your timeline? What's the off season look like? What's the plans?
Yeah, like the plan is to compete as a pro in 2023. So like 18 months of off season now. And yeah, the goal is basically to like bring up everything. Like there are not much big weak points I really want to work at. So it's mostly like bringing up everything. And yeah, making sure to bring like a real another package on stage in 2023. And yeah, the goal for sure is to make a good start in that pro division.
Now with the WNBF, you know, turning pro, now correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to compete within a year to keep your pro card. So that would mean 2022, would it not?
You need to if you're American, but if you're international, you can wait 2 years, which is an amazing thing, because there are not so many local pro shows in Europe. That's why I can wait until 2023, and that's super amazing. So leaves me like way more off-season time.
Yeah, that's convenient for sure.
Definitely. And and then doing some pro shows in 2023, and the main one will be Worlds, definitely in 2023.
Yep. You'll be working with Alberto amazing. The whole time?
Yes, with Alberto the whole time.
That's sweet.
And right then, on.
That's awesome. You guys got any last minute questions for him?
No, I think this one went pretty well. It was good. Good to pick your brain a little bit and see some of the backstory beyond just the shredded photos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Question for the group. He won best newcomer in 2023. Is going to win best pro debut.
Ooh.
Never know. You never know. People keep coming out of the woodworks, right? Nobody knew about Dirk until this year. Who knows what the next monster is going to be that he's going to have to battle with.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe I'll see him in the bantamweights.
There you go.
If I can get that shredded.
This would be dope. This would be dope, man. So yeah, let's see. Maybe it's even lightweight. I think in the pro division, sometimes they don't have bantam, and then you just go into lightweight.
That would be sweet.
Like this year, it was no bantamweight pro class, just light, middle, and heavyweight, I think.
Okay. Hey, I think you'd do damage either way. So
yeah,
we'll see, man.
Yeah. For sure. All right, man. Where can people find you on social media outside of? Is there just Instagram? Is that the main one?
Yeah, Instagram is the main one, like Dirk Emmerich, and then /, right?
Yep. Awesome. Well, you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. The three of us definitely did enjoy to pick Dirk's brain a little bit. Obviously, like Dan said, he won best newcomer this year, and newcomer turned into WNBF pro. So I'd say that's a very well deserving title. And man, we all look forward to what is to come for you, because you're gonna be a force on that stage.
Thank you, man. And yeah, all in all, you guys doing an amazing job with the Natty News Daily, all that. Like
Appreciate
for
it.
the whole
you.
community, man, it's immense. And also like those yearly awards is so damn cool, and it's exciting, man. And
Don't forget
such a great.
don't forget to post the medal when you get it, because it's on its way.
Oh, I will, man. I will once in a while. I will.
Funny
That's
story.
also so
I
dope.
go to the post office, and I've got 6 of those little envelopes. So we had 5 different countries all over the world end up winning. So I'm filling them out, and I go up to the post office lady, and she's like, "Oh yeah, where are these going?" I said, "All over the world." And she's like, and then like reads the addresses, and there's like Germany, Denmark, US, and she's like, "Oh, you weren't kidding." I was like, "No, these are going everywhere." So it took us like 20 minutes to get the addresses sorted out, but they are in transit right now.
There we go.
Damn.
Yep. Awesome, people. Again, if you
Super
guys like
amazing,
this
man.
episode, give it a like, subscribe for future episodes. Obviously, follow Dirk on Instagram, show him some support, and we will see you guys in the next episode.